ready.
We're rolling. We're live.
All right. Kaleb, Cecil, thanks for coming in, man.
No problem, man. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem. No problem. So yeah, you're from Kentucky.
Yeah, Bardstown, Kentucky originally.
Bardstown?
Yeah,
Really?
I actually grew up in Chaplin when I was growing up, which is about 30 minutes south of Bardstown. But yeah, I grew up in going to school in Bardstown all my life. My parents eventually moved to Bardstown growing up. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice. Awesome. And I know you're from Bardstown as well.
Yeah, we live in the same town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 2 hours north of here.
Nice.
yeah, went to
nice.
high school together and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And then it's the bourbon capital of
Yeah,
the
that's what
world?
that's what we claim, isn't it?
Yeah,
Bourbon
it's
Oh,
Capital.
the bourbon capital of the world.
Bourbon capital of the world. Yes,
Awesome.
sir.
Oh, sweet. I forgot to turn on the TV.
I'll get it.
You got it. Sweet. Yep. And but yeah, we can pull up some of that and just start
Bourbon
looking at
capital, man.
Bourbon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
If,
are you a big bourbon fan or?
yeah, man. I actually, if I had to choose, it would be bourbon. I'm not a big drinker in general,
Yeah.
but if I had to choose, I would rather sip on bourbon than drink beer all day
Yeah.
for sure, absolutely.
definitely.
But if you're from Bardstown, you either family worked in the bourbon industry somehow or something.
So,
you're
you know
connected.
somebody.
Yeah,
You know somebody that somehow did that.
exactly.
Nice. And then how did you really get into songwriting and stuff and music?
Man, so I was very lucky growing up. I was around music. My great grandfather, he turned 93 this year. His name's Pappy Cecil, and he was a big bluegrass guy.
Nice.
Yeah, he played. He was a big Bill Monroe fan. He was just engulfed his life in bluegrass. He builds instruments,
Really?
And yeah,
what
but-
kind of instruments did
so he builds-
guitars or
bluegrass instruments. So like if you got he'll build mandolins, stand-up bass, and guitars
Really?
and stuff like acoustic guitars. And he's been doing it since I was since I've ever been born. And so I was always around it, but my dad and my grandfather wasn't necessarily interested in the aspect of making music anything but just what it is. But seeing him do it definitely kept that in the back of my mind growing up,
For
and
sure.
then eventually I found a love for it. I could tell the way I listened to music was different from how other people listened to music.
True.
There was that difference. So.
nice.
Fell into it with a young age, probably. Then music.
Yeah, man, music was always a part of my life. Music actually got me into, I always tell people this, and they take it whichever way you want to, but music got me into church. Seeing
Nice.
some of these bands, these Christian bands, man,
Yep.
to be honest, it wasn't a certain somebody who told me about it. It was the music.
It was music that
Music
got you
moved
going
me
into
enough
church.
to go to church, as a youth. And so I always tell people like that, like music's a crazy thing. And that's when I probably knew when I was younger, I was like, man, this can make me go to church, and who knows what it can make me do. You know
True,
what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. And then kind of, I guess from that, you've just started making music and doing
Yeah,
writing
man,
songs.
I
or-
never really, and the coolest part about it is you never really think about it as anything but just doing it because you love it,
Yeah.
And so when I was younger, I would, write these songs that were just awful, man. They were awful, but I never did it thinking, man, I'm gonna write songs and make a career out of music. I just did it because,
You like doing it.
yeah, and I felt like,
right.
and for some reason, that's what I was. It was just right to do,
Yeah.
write songs. I've been playing guitar and learned how to play guitar. It was just the right thing to do. And then, I found a complete outlet with that. You can throw away your baggage in your life in a song and let that song out there, then it's gone,
Yeah.
It's
So
out
you,
there,
you can write stuff about that, and it's several of my songs. Most of the songs I write, if not all of them, are all personal experience stuff.
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So it's almost like therapy then. in a sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Music
And
is therapy.
yeah,
for
and
sure.
you hear that so many times, and people say it, but it's so true, man. It's
It's-
just like
yeah.
you talk about when people ask, why don't you play this song anymore? Why don't you play this song anymore? Because I'm not in that aspect of my life anymore.
Yeah.
That's why I play different songs. The newer songs, because I'm actually living that. I can go back to that memory
True.
at that time. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Makes it. And it's therapy for other people too when they
Yeah.
can relate
Oh.
to it.
Yeah, when you
So
can hear it. And stuff, yeah.
absolutely.
when someone hears like "Come on, whiskey," I'm sure plenty of people
Oh,
relive
yeah.
that. Like
yeah,
like,
especially and then several songs, especially the tattoos. That was one that went over well. And then This Old Town on the last album, like if that doesn't describe most small towns in America, then what does? But you either hate it or you love it. Sometimes it's both. So
Yeah. Yeah.
mhm,
I understand.
definitely, that can definitely be the case, man.
yeah.
For sure. For sure. And yeah, it's like, what are some of your favorite hobbies outside of music and stuff?
Well, man, to be honest with you, it has to be my hobbies are probably I love records, man.
Like old school
Spinning
records.
records.
Oh yeah.
yes, I
Can't beat
love records, man. I collect records. I'm getting ready. I'm moving in a new house actually, and I'm
Nice.
looking to buy a big turntable. I found this turntable that's just gorgeous. The old wooden ones,
Really.
huge. But I collect records, man. I'm a big I collect a lot of Aretha Franklin records. That's one of my favorites,
Gotcha,
man. Just if
gotcha.
I could hear anybody, it'd be her. So like stuff like that, and hobbies, man. Music, and I'm a school teacher.
Nice.
I'd like to say school teaching is my hobby.
Really?
You know?
Yeah, that's kind of your hobby.
Yeah, I'd say school
Nice.
teaching is my hobby. Music's my
Nice.
passion. But no, I love kids, man. And if I could have it, if music was never a thing I was able to do,
Just teach and
I'd
stuff,
just teach and work with kids, man.
Nice.
It's cool.
What grade do you teach?
I got very lucky. I'm teaching K through 8, so that's kindergarten through 8th grade. So I
Nice.
get
Oh, yeah, you
Nice.
get them all.
wide range,
Yeah.
yeah, man. But it's just when the world's full of so much just hate and lies and stuff, the kids they can't fake it, man.
No.
They're the truth.
Tell
Oh
it to
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
for
they'll
sure.
tell you how it is,
That
man.
know people, they'll tell you how it is.
Yep, and so I love being around kids. I love having a hand in guiding them along the way and stuff. And most of these kids in the area I teach, there's a lot of poverty and there's a lot of situations like it. So it's great helping out a situation,
Yeah.
in any
That's
way
awesome.
we can.
Nice. You ever play music for the kids?
Yeah, man. So actually, this blew my mind. I guess it was last year. Cox's Creek Elementary had me up to speak to the kids about songwriting, which blew my mind.
they'd
Like,
be
yeah,
interested in that
yeah.
for you.
Growing up as a kid, it was always the firefighter came in, the kid's
Yep.
dad who was the cop came in,
Yeah.
and they asked me to come and speak on that, and that blew my mind. That arts was being respected like that again,
Yeah.
which is incredible.
That's awesome that
So,
it is. Yeah. Because there's a lot of young people that probably can look to that and look to you and be like,
Absolutely.
that's a great way to potentially
Yeah, and
get
see,
them to get into.
and I got lucky, and I said, the music in the church. I had a youth pastor that actually purchased me my first ever guitar before he left our church. But if he didn't give me that opportunity to learn, guitar, it's all about just, there's so many music minds out there. It's all about giving that opportunity to express yourself, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
For sure, for sure. What was one of your first shows? Like, how old were you? Were you?
Oh,
Started kind
okay.
of playing music
Yeah.
live. and
Yeah,
things.
so when I first played like a real live, like where it was on the bar sign outside, was
yeah.
I was at Mammy's Kitchen in Barstown, Kentucky.
Shout out, Mammies.
Yeah, shout out Mammy's Kitchen.
Pretty good place to eat.
Copyright.
Oh yeah, copyright that.
Great
Oh,
place to eat,
great
man.
place, man, and great people.
I mean, it sounds like Mammy's. I mean,
Oh,
Mamie's cooking up back there. Yeah.
yeah,
can't go
you know
wrong.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
good cooking there.
man, Mammy's actually what everybody calls her. Her and her family run that whole place, man. It's killer food and it's great
Nice.
atmosphere, and they've always been great to me. And like I said, that my first ever gig was there. But I remember I was 16 or 17, my first real gig.
Okay.
And the bartender there, her name was Angie Leak. Shout out Angie, and a great bartender. But she would give me a beer bottle, but it would be empty, and I would always put water in it or something like that, and they snuck me in there. She let me play in there, being underage, and I just remember being so nervous. But when I was doing it, I was like, man, like you talk about just getting a high, some
Yeah.
sort of high. I didn't know what it was. And so, I mean, I've never done any hard drugs, but I
Got
can't
hooked
imagine it's
on it.
better than that.
Yeah.
I mean, Lord have mercy.
Yep.
And it hooked me ever since then, So I've been in bars since I was 15, 16, 17 playing, and acting like I was 21. So, when you turn 21, it's like, oh, this is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that growing up in bars, and one of my songs, Living the Dream, I gave most of my 20s to the bars. And that's the truth. From 20 to now, I'm only 24, but still those 4 years, I've just given all to bars on the weekends, man. It's just every weekend's bars. And I don't regret it, but I don't encourage it. I wouldn't encourage it. You go through college and you miss all the fun parties and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of musicians, like that's what you give up. You
give up.
you
Put in the work.
you got to put in the
Sacrifice that,
time.
yeah.
But whether it leads to anything or not, it's worth it, man. Like music's just a different kind of high, and it's crazy.
I can agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's awesome. That's
So
awesome.
you've been playing a lot of bars still, or kind of other venues, kind of hopping around.
Well, with
going
this
around?
COVID and stuff like that, man, it's
Yeah.
been insane. I never realized how much music supported me financially and supported me just in general
Yeah.
until they stopped. Shows stopped, and it killed me. And then you have a question where stuff's starting to open back up again. But in a situation, do you put yourself in that position? If it's dangerous out there, because you have family members, around you, grandparents, stuff like that. It's just it puts musicians in a hard
Yeah,
position,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And so for me, I've just started up playing again, a few shows here and there, and so I hope by the end of this year, nothing crazy goes down again. We have to shut stuff down.
Yeah.
Because man, not going to a concert every month like I usually do is killing me.
I
Yeah,
feel you on that.
Like
yeah,
right
I feel
now.
you for sure.
It kills you. And I was supposed to go to Railbird, and that got canceled and all that stuff this year. So I don't know what this year looks like, but it sure does give us a lot of musicians a lot of time to write. It really
Definitely a lot of
does.
time.
And so that's a good aspect for it. I think it's good to make everybody slow down real quick. I know this is an awful thing with this, spread of a virus and stuff, but man, it makes especially musicians, slow down.
Yep.
You know, they're traveling, especially like guys who are hitting the road for months and months and months.
Oh yeah.
Like they get to slow down, and I don't think people are looking enough to some of the positive aspects of it like that.
Like that, and like how much family is important.
Oh yeah,
Because,
like
I can
because
relate to
you slow
that,
down
man.
and you
Yeah.
you're around family
Yeah.
more, and it's like,
can you imagine
this
what
is great.
songs Isabel's gonna write now?
Oh,
Like since he's
probably.
been
He's gonna
home.
come out with a whole
Oh my
quarantine album,
gosh!
just some
I
heat
can't
stuff,
wait, man.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, yeah, let that dude sit at home by himself for a couple months and see what happens. He'll
Yeah.
crank out some heck of a song. So
Yeah.
True.
yeah, so that's what I've been looking at. But man, I just hope it all ends up great.
Mhm.
It sucks that a lot of musicians, it's hard for us to get any. I guess what do you call it? Unemployment pay. For some musicians,
Yeah,
it's tough.
self-employed, yeah.
And me, I'm lucky enough to have another job as a teacher. But some of these guys, man, like I feel for them. Like it's
Yeah.
got to be
That's
tough.
how they make their living.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough, man. It's not fair. It really isn't. But life's not. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
sucks to say. But
Learn from it and
yeah,
persevere.
keep on trucking. Yeah,
Yeah,
True.
persevere for
True.
sure.
that's it.
So you got any big shows you think planning up for next year or anything you're trying to
Well,
shoot
man,
for?
I'm actually hoping all the shows that we had planned this year are going
Carry
to
over.
carry over. And I had a big craft beer festival in Florida, Jupiter, Florida, that I was really looking forward to. I think I had 7 states to go through this month, man, but
Man,
all
yeah.
those were canceled. So I'm hoping everything carries over. The Bourbon Festival we're acting like this year, that's in my hometown of Bardstown.
It should be rocking.
Yeah,
the way they're saying.
it should be rocking, and I hope everything goes on course. If it does, I'll be playing the Saturday of Bourbon Festival, and Big Black Cadillac, which is a great band from Bardstown. They're
Mhm.
just totally rocking. The drummers are lead singer. My godfather's their trumpet player. They're like an 8-piece band. They're playing the Friday night, but that's a show that I always look forward to, man.
Mhm.
It's just good to have a hometown crowd there, along with people from everywhere.
Tourists,
Nice.
people
Exactly.
from Australia,
Well,
Canada.
and I think, man, the Crab Beer Festival is supposed to be the same week.
it's gonna be too.
So you talk about a
more
lot of
people.
alcohol and a lot of bourbon everywhere, man. So
Yeah.
it should be a great weekend. And
Yeah, that'd be
like
good.
I said, I don't have any idea what it's going to look like. But,
Spacing wise.
yeah, but I'll be there.
You'll be there.
You'll
I'll
be
be-
at Caleb Cecil the Bourbon Fest,
Yeah.
October 15th through the 18th.
That's it. Thank you for remembering the dates. I was sitting here trying to think.
You're trying to think of the date.
I have no clue what them dates were.
Yeah, Bardstown, Kentucky. Come see us.
Yeah, if it's
There you
not
go.
tonight, I don't
There you
remember it.
go.
I'm telling you.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, and you opened up for Ashley McBride. Was that at the?
Was that during the Bourbon Festival, or was it
No.
kind of like right around that?
Was
That
time?
was right around that time. Mammy's put that on, but
Yeah.
man, Ashley, if you ask me, I will say this respectable to her because I just feel like telling the truth is best here. If I had to pick a favorite artist in the entire world, it would not be Ashley. But if I had to pick a favorite artist that taught me more than anybody else, it'd be Ashley McBride.
Nice.
Makes sense.
That
Yeah.
chick, man. Like my favorite artist of all time is just without a doubt Chris Stapleton. I'm just a huge fan.
Yeah.
I fangirl over that dude. I mean, he wrote across 6 genres.
Even from his old stuff to bluegrass
Yeah, I
stuff.
mean everything's solid go, man.
Yeah,
So
same.
that's my favorite. But man, the person who taught me the most just by watching them, that Ashley McBride chick, man, she's the real deal, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I used to sneak into bars with a notebook and take notes on her, man. When she spoke into a mic, she controlled the crowd, and she's just amazing. And she taught me how to write, man. Which way I try to write now is because of watching her and how she wrote back in the day, and so I owe a lot to that woman, whether she knows it or not. But I opened up for her in Bardstown at Mammy's. They held it outside, and it was on a big stage, a great environment, and she killed it.
Packed it out.
Packed it out, yeah. And that was an honor. Like I said, I looked up to her. She used to play at Mammy's. Actually,
back, yeah.
way back in the day. She used to come through there before she, blew up. And so it's just great to see her with so much success now. And
That's
it's
awesome.
absolutely,
Yeah.
man. She just keeps getting higher. And we need chicks like her in country music for sure.
True.
I
For
agree.
sure.
For sure.
I agree. She's doing good things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then as far as new music coming out, you're gonna potentially be rolling out. I know you played some new songs for us.
Yeah.
here,
Yeah,
and so,
sounded killer.
I played some new songs for you all today, but as far as getting those out on a record, I know I'm working on an acoustic project,
okay.
just solely to get some of my material out there,
Gotcha.
just so it doesn't sit on the shelf too long. But like I spoke with you all a while ago, I'm looking for, a new direction in how my music sounds and stuff like that. Not necessarily the way of writing, but just adding a lot of more different things to my stage as far as a stand-up bass.
Nice.
Just
And
kind of have it carry over from the record. to
yeah,
live
exactly.
shows.
The record was great, and it was up tempo, and it had a lot of it had a southern rock feel, which I love. Man, I love.
What's the name of that album?
Name of the album's Tattoos. Yeah, go
Tattoos,
check that
check it
out.
out.
It's on Spotify, Apple Music, everything you
All
could
the
imagine.
places,
Yeah,
yeah.
all the places. So if you wanna buy it, go on the iTunes. If you want to steal it, go on Apple and Spotify, whatever you want to do. It don't bother
Just
me.
listen to it. That's
Just
all we
listen
say.
to it. That's
Listen.
all I'm saying. So, but yeah, man. So I'm hopefully going to incorporate. I've got a fiddle guy that's. I mean, he's amazing. His
He
name's
is.
Jory Hutchins, and he's killer. I've got a bass player named Billy Clark. He plays stand up bass. I've got a great guitar player. I've got a drummer. I mean, I've got all the pieces I want. I'm getting comfortable now with doing what I want to do. You
Yeah.
know, it's no longer about what should I do. It's just do what you want to do. And so I'm really hoping this next year to really shape my band, I guess that would be. And I know Mary off the last record, the Tattoos record, it showed a bluegrass side, and I'd like to see more of that come out in
More
my
of that bluegrass
performances.
side,
Yeah,
yeah, nice.
That'd be good.
He's
Mhm.
killer.
A little mix between country and bluegrass. But
Yeah,
keep things interesting.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm always writing, and I like to not write in a genre. I just like to write whatever I'm feeling, and
For sure.
but I'll be writing as much as possible. Like I said, Kyle, all 3 songs you're going to see me and Kyle Williamson wrote, and he's a phenomenal writer, dude, and just a killer guy all around. He's a killer father, a killer writer, and he's just a good guy to be around. And when we get together, we work. I'm not a good co-writer. Like
Gotcha.
I hate that about me, but I'm not. If I don't click with somebody,
Makes it tough.
mentally, it just makes it so much tougher for me. If I can't relate to somebody, and me and Kyle have just always been able to write, and
That's
so,
good.
and man, he was in a band called Hooker back in the day, and he's just got some phenomenal stuff. And people ask me what kind of stuff he plays, and Kyle's stuff. I don't know how to categorize it,
Cal is,
which
yeah,
is
Cal stuff.
awesome, which is even cooler. And, it's amazing to be able to say that. And he's great. And I'm trying, I beg him to go out on the road with me a lot. So you'll see him on stage a few times every now and then playing lead guitar for me and stuff like that. So, but as co-writing, dude, I suck at co-writing. I do. I suck. So I either write by myself or with Kyle, and that's pretty sad. But I hope to get better. I hope that's something to work on. But it's hard explaining somebody my situation to write with, if that makes sense.
Have them relate to it.
Yeah.
Or understand
Yeah.
it the right way.
Yeah,
It'd be
and
cool.
Kyle's good about letting me be are we allowed to cuss on this thing? Is that all right?
Say whatever the hell you want.
Okay.
Say what you want.
Kyle's cool with me being a jackass and having this headstrong viewpoint of what way I want the song to go, and he won't step on my toes, man. He just guides me, and it works. And there's nobody else who'd be able to do that for me because they'd probably think I'm a jackass. So Kyle's great, and I'm lucky to have him. But hopefully, we're gonna get together and write here a lot this summer. So hopefully this winter, I'd like to say this winter I'd like to put out another album.
Gotcha.
Just like
Nice.
Tattoos was put out last November, I'd like to put out one this November.
Nice.
That's a big,
Yeah.
hope.
Hoping.
Put out
Yeah.
a full album.
Yeah, yeah, so-
kind of like that.
Well, yeah, and I've even thought about taking the last album, some songs off that, and adding it to one big album since that was an EP
Little
style.
deluxe,
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so that's you know how that is with everything now. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, you don't know.
So
yeah.
we're gonna try to aim towards that and just write. My catalog, I just want it to be bigger. I just want to write, and I want to write good songs.
nice,
sure.
Yeah.
nice, killer,
That's
killer.
good stuff, man. You ever do anything outdoors? Any hunting and fishing?
Oh,
You like
man,
to
all the
spend some
time.
Outdoor stuff.
I'm actually. Hopefully, this reaches people. If you have any duck leases available in the
Uh-oh.
Arkansas or
Actually-
Mississippi area,
We
There
just
you go. Yeah, we just had some boys on that were.
big duck hunters.
Big
down in
well,
Georgia, so
man, I'm telling you what. I grew
Make
up
a
duck
trip.
hunting thanks to my dad. We used to go to a place called Alligator, Mississippi,
Okay.
every year duck hunt, and hunt swamps, man, and we tore them up. And I'm always, hunting something. Turkey season this year, I got a turkey, and then deer season. I
Nice.
can't wait for deer season, man. But my favorite's duck hunting,
Really?
undoubtedly, yeah. So and me and my buddy, I hunt with him on his lease in Illinois right now.
Okay.
But I'm actually trying to find a new lease in Arkansas or Mississippi somewhere. So if anybody knows of anywhere,
There you
you
go.
let me know.
some
Yeah.
duck hunting spots.
But yeah, man, duck hunting is where it's at. I just love it. I grew up doing it with Dad. My dad used to make me practice duck calling all day long.
Really?
Yeah, man. He'd sit me down and let me duck call for him in the stand all day. But man, best memories ever growing up
For
was
sure.
was duck hunting, man.
Yeah.
That was it. And but I've been hunting, my whole life. My dad just put us through it, and deer hunting. turkey. We never did a lot of rabbit hunting. That was never Dad's thing, but
Gotcha,
we
yeah.
always did the turkey, deer, and duck. Duck was huge.
Duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I've been hearing a lot about it, and I've got friends and stuff that love duck hunting, and I've just never really done it, but I think it would be.
Oh
It'd
yeah.
be
Oh,
fun.
absolutely, man. Now, Zach, don't you be asking no questions about no girls now.
Nah, we ain't skipping them. Ain't no girls on this podcast.
Yeah,
We avoid all that.
But man, I mean, outdoors. Like if I could give my, I've always thought, if I ever had kids, if I could give them one thing, it'd be that. I learned so much through the outdoors with
Yeah.
Dad.
Oh, for sure.
More than any other situation
Oh,
ever,
yeah.
man. And especially being around firearms. Like if thanking my dad for stuff growing up is that when I walk in a room, if you had guns laying on these couches, dude, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't feel any which way about it, and that's solely because I was raised around them.
Yep.
And I can understand how people, but like, and today, but like, man, I just was so lucky to grow up with a dad who's in the outdoors all the time, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was trained around guns. I was just safe, safety and everything. It was just, it's stuff that you just can't come across these days as easy as you did back
Definitely
then,
For
man.
sure.
Definitely
So
not.
I got lucky with an old school dad, man, and but with old school dads come the belt and stuff too. So
Well, I mean, but at the same time, that's a good.
Oh,
that's a good thing.
absolutely,
Like,
man.
Might help
My
you in
dad
the
was
long
the
run,
same
probably.
way. Yep.
absolutely, man. He wore me out when I was a kid, but it just made me such a better adult,
yeah.
man. And but I'm gonna tell you, like I would tell anybody, like if get your kids outside, man.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah,
let them
experience
experience
the outdoors.
something.
Mhm.
And
Do
I
something with your hands.
Yeah,
actually,
and
A
I
lot
don't-
of TV.
I don't want to get along the angle of the people, the people who are woke or whatever. But man, there's a connection between people in the outdoors, man.
Oh, for
and,
sure.
People need to be,
Yep.
we're made to be out there, and so I just think it's such a huge part of just, especially keep me happy. Like my family owns a cabin on the river in
Oh,
Bardstown,
nice.
and so like man, when times get just shitty, you go down there for a day and just sit, on the porch swing, and it's just it just takes it all away, man. Just
Peaceful.
being
Yeah.
outside, yeah. So I mean that especially the summer, that's what I plan most to do is write and hang outside
There you
and
go.
float the river and
Nothing
stuff
wrong
like
with
that.
that.
Yeah,
Nice,
no,
nice. You
nothing.
big kayak, canoe
Oh
guy,
man,
loving it?
if I can be in the river, I'd rather be in the river on the lake sometimes. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
it's just because floating the river, man. It's just that's what you did at Bardstown.
Yeah,
I mean
that's
that's what
the thing.
everybody did, and so I loved it. But everybody's on the lakes right now. It's just it's a
Boating
yeah, it's a perfect season right now. But this COVID's just kind of eating everything up. But
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So, good deal. Well, dude, thanks so much for coming out.
Oh man, thank y'all
I
for having
appreciate
me.
it. Hopefully, you'll, like you said, November have an album out.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it.
Shooting for it.
Yeah, shoot for it, and hopefully, I'd like to write songs for it. That's what we're working on right now, and hopefully, it all comes together. And hopefully, you'll see something new from me and a little different. I don't want any of my records to be the same.
Gotcha.
So,
I
yeah.
love that. I love
yeah,
that.
I'd like them
That's
all to be different. So,
awesome.
Nothing wrong with
Awesome.
that at all. For sure,
Sweet.
man. We appreciate you coming out,
oh,
Kaleb.
yeah.
thank y'all so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, man.